Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever wondered why in a Hindu household a specific ancient text, the Garuda Purana, is read right after someone passes away? It's a really profound tradition, and today we're going to get into what it's all about. What does it mean for the soul that's just left, and for the family who's still here? Wow, the wolf of death forcibly slays the lamb of a mortal. That's a line from the text itself, and it really hits you, doesn't it? It frames death as this powerful, unavoidable force, and it naturally brings up the biggest question of all, one we've been asking forever. So, what happens next? All right, so let's get into it. What exactly is this journey the soul is supposed to take? And how in the world does this ancient text help? We're going to see how it acts as a kind of spiritual GPS for the soul, but also as a huge comfort for the people left behind. So the Garuda Purana says the journey starts the second you die. And it's not this peaceful, floating into the light kind of thing. Nope. It's described as a pretty tough path where the soul has to immediately face up to everything it did in life. Judgment Day, basically. And it's pretty clear-cut. If you lived a good, wise life, you're headed for the highest goal. But if you were what the text calls sinfully inclined, well, you're in for a rough ride. Your entire journey is shaped by your karma, every single action you took in your life. You know, what's really fascinating here is what counts as a sin. It's not just about actions. Look at this list. It's also psychological. Being confused, caught up in delusion, chasing after desires, being full of pride. The text is basically saying your state of mind and life creates your reality after death. It's a powerful idea. And along with that comes this deep, heavy regret. The soul is looking back, thinking, oh man, I didn't do this, I didn't listen to that. It's this heartbreaking moment of realizing all the missed opportunities for good deeds and wisdom. It really makes you think about what we chase in life versus what actually has lasting spiritual value. Okay, so the soul is confused, it's full of regret, it's being judged. How does it navigate all of this? This is where the Garuda Purana comes in. This is why it's read out loud. It's not just some storybook, it's a practical, functional guidebook for the afterlife. So the belief is that the soul actually sticks around the home for a while after death. And hearing this text being read, it's like someone handing you a map and a flashlight when you're lost in a pitch-black forest. Suddenly, the rules of the game, karma, consequences, are all laid out. It gives the soul clarity for the crazy journey it's on. And think about what this does for the family. They're not just sitting there, helpless in their grief. Reciting the Purana gives them an active role. They're helping. They get to understand what their loved one is going through. And here's the best part. The book doesn't just say, here's what's happening. It says, here's what you can do to make it better. And that leads us right into the rituals. The Purana is super specific about the rites and offerings a family can do. These aren't just symbolic gestures. They're believed to directly help the soul on its path. And the ultimate goal of all of this? Moksha, liberation, breaking free from that whole cycle of death and rebirth. The central ritual here is called Sraddha. The name itself kind of tells you what it's about. It means to do something with complete faith and respect. These ceremonies are seen as absolutely crucial. They're like spiritual food and water for the soul, helping it get through those first really tough stages of the journey.
The text points to three really important ones. First, there are 16 monthly offerings. Then there's the gift of a bed, which is symbolic, right? It's to give the soul a place to rest. And finally, the dedication of a bowl. The idea is that performing these three things basically eliminates the soul's suffering, its hunger and thirst, so it can finally move on to a better state.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the soul's journey, but what about everyone else? The impact of reading the Garuda Purana on the family is just as important. It's all about changing the very atmosphere in the house, which, as you can imagine, is filled with grief. Now, when we say it purifies the home, we're not talking about, spring cleaning. This is a deep, spiritual, and psychological cleansing. The sound of the sacred chants, the wisdom in the words, it's all believed to literally transform that heavy, sad energy of grief into something sacred, something holy. And here's the key takeaway for the living. Instead of just being overwhelmed by the chaos and pain of loss, the family is given a purpose, a sacred duty, a dharma. Their focus shifts from we lost someone to we have a job to do to help them. And that provides so much structure, so much comfort when they need it most. So we've mentioned moksha, liberation, a few times. It's the end goal, but what is it really? It turns out there isn't just one answer. The philosophies point to at least two very different ways of looking at what this ultimate freedom is all about. And this chart lays it out perfectly. On one side, you have the Puranic path, the one we've been talking about with the Garuda Purana. It's all about good actions, karma, rituals. You do things to earn liberation after you die. But then you have the Tantric path, which is a total mind shift. It says liberation isn't something you get later. It's a state of mind, pure awareness, no ego, that you can tap into this very second. This quote really nails the Tantric view. Desire is the world. Think about that. It's saying that wanting anything, even something spiritual like wanting God or wanting liberation, is still a trap. It's still a desire that ties you to the world of becoming, of not having. True freedom, from this perspective, only happens when you stop wanting altogether.
So that leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on, doesn't it? Is liberation, is moksha, a destination you arrive at after death, something you earn through rituals and good deeds, or is it a switch you can flip right now? A state of total awareness that's already here, just waiting for us to wake up to it.